And good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Sawyer Center. Southern Nazarene basketball is on the air. Tonight, the Crimson Storm at home taking on Ouachita Baptist in Great American Conference action. Hi, everyone. Luke McConnell, delighted to be with you here this evening at the Sawyer Center for more Southern Nazarene basketball. Should be a great matchup on hand tonight. Two competitive games between the Crimson Storm and the Tigers. It's the Arkadelphia two-step this weekend as Ouachita in town tonight, and then Henderson State coming over on Saturday afternoon. First up, we have the women followed by the men. The SNU women continue to roll 18-0 this season. They're number 5 in the nation in the coaches poll, number 1 in the nation in the media poll. Of course, SNU dropping a spot despite winning both of their games last week. Dropping a spot in the coaches poll as Grand Valley State moved back ahead of SNU from the number 4 or number 5 spot to the number 4 spot. Of course, did hear that all the coaches who vote in the coaches poll suffering from an illness this week known as brand bias. Of course, SNU, the only undefeated Division II team in the nation, at 18-0 against a schedule filled with heavy hitters, Minnesota State, Lubbock Christian, and of course Missouri Southern as well, who each of those schools are doing is leading the other two conferences in the region, the Northern Sun for Minnesota State and the MIAA for Missouri Southern, and Lubbock Christian right there in the mix in the Lone Star Conference of the South Central region. I understand it's easy to play the brand bias game with Ashland, the defending national champions, at 18-1 so far this year. 18 first place votes for Ashland, but last year has no bearing on this year in SNU. Absolutely deserving of the number 1 spot in both polls. But all SNU can do is continue to win, and that's what they've done all season long, including a 75-59 win at Ouachita Baptist back on January 6th. SNU knocked down 10 three-pointers in that game, 19 of 22 from the free throw line. Closed poorly in the fourth quarter, allowing 13 points over the last 2.5 minutes. And after Trent May cleared the bench and pulled the starters out and had to put the starters back in for the final 45 seconds of the game. Not something that you ever want to do, but something that was necessary in that situation. So SNU will be looking to play a more complete 40-minute game here this evening against the Tigers, who come in 7-9 overall, 5-7 in Great American Conference play this season. They have lost 3 in a row, and including 6 of their last 7. And their 5-7 mark gives them a tie for 7th place in the conference standings with the other OBU, Oklahoma Baptist. But the Tigers struggling a little bit offensively this year, middle of the pack. The biggest difference for the Tigers this year, no Michaela Miller, the point guard from a season ago. She's off doing great things at LaSalle University at the D1 level. She was a big part of this Ouachita offense a year ago at the point guard position. They just have not been able to replace her and haven't been able to open things up for the rest of the squad like Michaela did for the Tigers last year. They're 6 percentage points lower shooting the basketball, 7 percentage points lower shooting the 3-ball this year, and their sharpshooter Lainey Mears, who knocked down 79 threes at a 42% clip, just shooting 29% from 3 with just 29 made threes thus far this season. Also dealing with injuries, Heidi Robinson's been out since December 16th, a loss that significantly hurts the Tigers, averaging 13 points per game this season. But the Crimson Storm continue to get better. You'll hear some notes of that in our pregame conversation with Trent May coming up in just a few moments. But George Adams back from injury, obviously a big lift for this Crimson Storm offensively. The three-point shooting has been excellent in January, 7 makes per game on 37% from deep. Also have scored 70 or more points in 6 of the last 9 contests after doing so just 3 of the first 9 contests this season. SNU doing a great job of taking care of the basketball over the last 6 games. Just 12 turnovers per game in the last 6 games. Something to watch for this evening is the offensive rebounding battle. 11 offensive rebounds per game for the Tigers. They like to turn you over a lot. They force nearly 20 turnovers per game. SNU will have to do a good job there, but SNU averaging 11 offensive rebounds per game over their last 3 contests. And when SNU has 10 or more offensive rebounds in a game, their margin of victory jumps from 15, which it is for the full 18-game season, up to 18 points per game. It all starts for SNU with the 2 seniors, Lauren Reether and Hannah Giddy, who've been outstanding on the offensive end and on the defensive end. Both of them top 11 in points, top 11 in rebounds, top 4 in assists, and each of them 1 or 2 in the conference in a defensive category. Lauren with 49 steals is second to Carly Craig at Northwestern, who has 50 steals. Hannah Giddy leading the league by a very wide margin in blocks with 65. That's second in the nation in both of those categories. Those two certainly going to be a tight race for Player of the Year. You look at Faith Simpson over at Northwestern, Sage Hawley at Harding. You even throw Ashley Farrar at Henderson State into that mix as well. It's going to be an exciting second half of the season on the women's side as we come down the stretch. Most of those games, of course, will be at home for the Crimson Storm. Saturday against Southeastern was the first of 8 home games in the second half of the season for SNU. Go to the Arkansas Tech Harding swing next week. Of course, that's going to be an absolutely enormous trip for these Crimson Storm women, particularly the game at Harding, but the game at Arkansas Tech, not one to be overlooked in any way, shape, or form by this Crimson Storm bunch. Here, though, the opponent is the Tigers, an opponent that will be feisty and make life difficult for SNU this evening on their home floor, where they have won 19 consecutive games and 32 consecutive regular season contests overall, dating back to February of 2022. Right now, we'll turn it over to our conversation with Trent May, and after that, starting lineups and the opening tip. This is SNU basketball. Game conversation with SNU head coach Trent May, the Crimson Storm, taking on Ouachita Baptist tonight at the Sawyer Center. And Trent, always good to catch up on the longer part of the week. Yeah. And what's been the focus this week in practice preparing for not just this weekend, but the rest of the season?
Film is a great indicator of kind of what's going on. It's we always say film doesn't lie, and so just being able to get a little bit of that in. You start the week off, and Sunday's an off day, Monday's still a recovery day. Even though we'll throw a lift in there, watch some film, try to get back on track, and just things we need to emphasize. And this time of year, it's really reminding what's at stake, reminding where we're at, reminding who we are and what we're doing and what needs to be done, and just extra things of focus. Today's February 1, Luke. I mean, gosh, just like that, right? And so, we talk about what February looks like and what it looks like for teams in our position, and just things that we just continue to focus on, things that are and within our control. And so, and again, that Monday bleeds into a quick Tuesday, and then on, and here we are on Thursday, game day, and so it's just it's the little things you got to be mindful of this time of year.
It's been cool to see the progress of the team so far this year, just over the course of the season, but also just the growth of your program in general. Would have to go back and fact check myself a little bit, but right now you're sitting at a 1-to-1 assist to turnover ratio, something that I know that's been a big emphasis for you your entire time here. Yeah. How cool is it just to see that progress, not just with this team, but your program as a whole?
Yeah, it's great. It's ball control's crucial. We have the players that are capable of making the right pass at the right time, and so the fact that they're seeing the statistical reward from that, just being able to go, hey, we are good at this, and the numbers don't lie as well, and so it's good to be able to see that and just be able to trust them with that maturity on the floor.
Georgia Adams came back, a couple weeks ago and is playing well. Great game on Saturday for her in extended minutes.
But with that, obviously you're working somebody back into the fold a little bit. How has the team responded to getting her back on the court and the chemistry that's going along with that?
Right. Yeah, and that's the great thing about our team is they're not caring about who gets it done. They just want to get it done, and so the fact that they support her and what she's doing, and they know that she would have been a main fixture for our program this year anyway, and so just the fact that they've seen her work to get back to where she is, and that she's going to be inserted into the lineup here and there, and it's just a good thing that they know that she's a great player, and so that just adds to the fuel of our team.
You got the win in Arkadelphia against Ouachita Baptist. You said you didn't love the way you closed that game. Besides that point, what are other reference points you're looking back to from that one?
Yeah, and watching recent film of that game specifically, there were some things. They did a good job. They're going to play hard. All the teams that we play are going to play hard. No one's going to lie down for us, no matter who we are or where we're at in the season. And so, they're really good at getting to their spots, and we really allowed them to, in my opinion. We really backed down a lot, and so they did a good job of really dominating the lane. And that's something that we just can't allow, and that's not a toughness piece that we're willing to surrender. And so we got to get that back and make sure we're really tough in the paint tonight.
And what do you do to challenge your team to take it to another level? You've been working hard all year. You want to play your best ball in March. How do you challenge them to take it? What's been an outstanding year thus far, how do you challenge them to take it to even further heights?
Right. One of the things we talked about yesterday specifically is that October's gone, November's gone. Nobody knows nor cares what you do in those months, and now now January's gone. And so again, same thing. In fact we're still undefeated. We won 2 more games this week, and we actually drop a spot in the national poll. So they don't even care what we did in January. So that's the part. It's like but people will remember February. It's a big fixture to where you won as far as regional rankings and for conference tournament placement and all those things. And so February is a huge month, and so it's like, hey, everything you've done, we don't discount it. Like, we're proud of those things, and it's good, but on the outside nobody cares. And so what we got to do is we got to continue to make sure that we play with that chip on our shoulder, going, hey, if we want to defend a conference championship, we better do that in the month of February.
Have you found that your team's kind of the chip on the shoulder type?
Yeah, it depends on the day. Depends on the day. That doesn't mean that's not a knock on them or a bad thing. It's just that it just really is. Some days it's like it's. They're a mature group. They're used to practicing and going all those things, but I think it's the game time that we'll figure out if they really have that chip on their shoulder.
Well, Trent, thanks for your time as always. Best of luck tonight against the Tigers.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks for being here.
And welcome back to the Sawyer Center. The starting lineups being introduced. Let's run through those for you. First, for the visitors from Arkadelphia, the Ouachita Baptist Tigers. First up, number 10, sophomore guard Samantha Watson, 5'7" from Fort Worth, Texas, averaging 5.5 points and 3 rebounds per game this season. Number 20, sophomore forward Grayson Fairless, 6 foot from Mena, Arkansas, averaging 10 points and 6 rebounds per game this season. Number 22, junior guard Laney Mears, 5'6" from Bologna, Arkansas, averaging 13 points and 38 steals in total this season. Number 23, sophomore guard Madeline Tipton, 5'10" from Bologna, Arkansas, averaging 10.5 points and 3 rebounds per game this season. And rounding out the starters for the Tigers, number 32, sophomore forward Abby Harrison, 6'2", from Hernando, Mississippi, averaging 3 points and 4 rebounds per game this season. The head coach of the Tigers is Robert Dallimore in his 5th season in Arkadelphia. Assistant coach is Nate Davis. And now for your Southern Nazarene Crimson Storm, the number 5 team in the land, 18-0 this season, the lone undefeated women's Division II squad in all of America. First up, number 4, senior guard Lauren Reether, 5'5", from Oklahoma City, the Putnam City High School product. 4th in the conference in scoring, 17.5 points, 4th in assists at 4.5, 2nd in steals with 49. Number 5, senior forward Hannah Giddy, 6'2", from Melbourne, Australia, 13.5 points, 10 rebounds per game, which is 2nd in the conference, and a league-leading 5.7 assists per game this season. Number 12, senior guard Emily Monahan, 5'9", from Melbourne, Australia, 12 points and 4 rebounds per game this season for the senior. Making her return to the starting lineup, number 15, senior forward Georgia Adams, 5'10", from Mandurah, Australia, averaging 7.5 points and 3 rebounds per game this season in her 3 games back since her return. And number 24, senior guard Abby Giles, 5'7", from Searcy, Arkansas, averaging 9 points and 6 rebounds per game this season. The Crimson Storm are coached by Trent May, his 6th season in Bethany. Assistant coaches Kayla Tucker, Sydney Salvato, and Greg Gilman. Tonight, SNU putting a 19-game home winning streak on the line, a 32-game regular season game winning streak on the line tonight against the Tigers. SNU leads the overall series 14-7. They've won 9 in a row, with all but one of those coming by double digits. They also have a 6-4 edge in Bethany, having won the last 4 at the Sawyer Center. We're anthemed up, introduced, and ready to go. Ouachita in black, purple numbers, gold trim. It's Fairless and Giddy at the center circle. Giddy wins the tip. SNU moving right to left to start the ball game. SNU in their home whites. Adams right off the cuff. Inside for the easy deuce against Samantha Watson. Georgia Adams has played in the last 3 games, played 24 minutes last Saturday against Southeastern. Here's Tipton, pulls up from the right elbow. Too strong, but hits the backboard and drops in for 2 to tie the score at 2. Ouachita going to apply pressure. Reether ahead to Monahan, an easy fast break layup for the senior Monahan. Watson at the top of the key for the Tigers. Moving left to right in this first half. Tipton, right wing for 3. Short. Harrison had the rebound. Ripped away from her by Monahan. Monahan pushing right down the lane to the basket. Reverse layup is good. And Robert Dallimore wants time with SNU running and gunning in the first minute of the contest. 6-2. The Crimson Storm with the early lead against the Tigers. SNU not afraid to push in the early going. 4 fast break points already out of the 6 to start the contest. Tigers 4th in the league in turnovers forced, 20 per game. They average nearly 10 steals per game as well. They'll try to speed you up a little bit, but have just had 10 steals just once in the last 5 contests. Again, SNU You heard in our pregame conversation with Trent May, a 1-to-1 assist to turnover ratio, something that have not seen with Trent May's program over the past 5 years. So good to see the progress of this team, as we mentioned, but also the progress of the program as a whole. No change out of the timeout. SNU applying some full court pressure. Harrison gets it into Fairless. Fairless will bring it up court against Hannah Giddy. Back to Watson. Watson drives to the GAC logo and brings it back out. Foul circle now is Fairless. Driving down the left side of the paint. Trying to get around Giddy, and a block and a foul is the call. Baseline official said Hannah Giddy got her a little bit on the arm. The official on the SNU bench side did not indicate a foul. It's Hannah Giddy's first personal foul. Fairless misses the first free throw. 69% of the line this season is Fairless. Giddy did not record a block on Saturdays. Fairless misses the second. Adams holds off Harrison for the rebound. Giddy did not record a block on Saturday, just the second time that's happened in her 2-year SNU career. As Reether kicks it out to Monahan, up top to Adams. SNU as a team did not record a block as well. As Monahan has it right wing now for the Crimson Storm. Behind the screen from Giddy. Monahan stops at the left elbow, kicks it top of the key. Wide open Georgia Adams, in and out on the three. Harrison clears for the Tigers. It's just the second time SNU has not had a block under Trent May. The other one, the regular season finale at Arkansas Monticello back on March 2nd of 2019. Mears, a three from the SNU bench is no good. Reether the long rebound, a long pass to Monahan, who saves it on the inline. Up top to Adams, to Reether. Sets her feet, fires a three, missed it well off to the right, no good. Fairless has the rebound for the Tigers. So SNU starts 0 for 2 from deep and leads 6-2, 7:45 to go first quarter. Here's Tipton, back to Watson at the right elbow. Across the paint, pulls up from the left side. Too strong. Reether clears for SNU. Senior having a tremendous season. 5th in the nation in shooting percentage for guards, or at least players listed as guards, as she hits Monahan on the back cut, who blew the layup. Loose ball, saved by Watson, but it goes out of bounds. It'll be SNU basketball. Beautiful backdoor lob there from Reether as Monahan went curling all the way around the formation. Fairless and Watson check out for the Tigers, in for the first time. Annie Coffey in for the first time. Or excuse me, that's Micah Russell, number 15, out there right now, along with Audrey Winfrey. Giddy's shot is blocked out of bounds. Stays with SNU with 14 on the shot clock. Winfrey, the sophomore out of Hot Springs, Arkansas, and Russell, freshman out of Sunnyvale, Texas. Inbounds comes to Giddy. Hands to Reether on the curl at the foul line. Back to Monahan, open, right wing for three. She'll try it and bank it in. She's spilled into the bench by Winfrey. Trent May furious that there was no foul called. Russell pulls up outside the paint and knocks it down. It's 9-4, Crimson Storm. Here's Monahan, right wing, hands it back to Reether. Mears goes down, no call. Reether fires it down low, looking for Giddy. Got it knocked away, saved it to Giles, who saves it to Monahan. 8 on the shot clock for Monahan. Behind the back dribble, drives, cut off, forces it up, missed the shot, loose ball, and the Tigers have it. Here's Russell, working on Georgia Adams. Left baseline, up top, Winfrey. Run off the line by Giles. Stops at the GAC logo. Left corner, Russell, three-pointer, skips over the rim. No good. Mears tracks it down right corner. She'll try a three and hit it. So a three-pointer for Lainey Mears draws the Tigers within 2 at 9-7. 6 minutes to go, first quarter. SNU got off to a very hot start. Now down low, Georgia Adams puts it up and in, and a foul coming up on the Tigers. It's going to be on Micah Russell, the freshman out of Sunnyvale, Texas, and Georgia Adams with her second field goal. Makes it 11-7 with Adams at the line looking to complete the three-point play. Officials huddled for a quick moment to discuss something. Now, one official is having a conversation with Laney Mears. Now the lead official going over to talk to Trent May and issue a bit of an explanation. Now to the scorer's table he goes. And that last play, it looked like he was issuing a flop warning to Madeline Tipton. I believe that is what we ended up with, a flop warning. I believe it was Tipton on the drive by Monahan, who went flying into the baseline. 5:55 to go, first quarter. SNU leads 11-7. Crimson Storm 5 of 10 from the field to start the contest. And Georgia Adams at the line looking to complete a three-point play. All scoring from Monahan and Adams thus far. 7 for Emily. And now 5 for Georgia. Georgia now 4 for 4 at the line through 4 games. Long lead pass ahead for Tipton in the right corner. To the right block. Lost her footing. Gives it to Harrison. Harrison backing down on Giddy. Giles ripping at it. Harrison throws it in off the glass. Sophomore averaging 3 points per game. Just her 7th contest of the season. Missed the early part of the season. Reether picks up her dribble. Left wing to Giles. Open 3. Skips over the rim. No good. Winfrey the rebound for the Tigers. There's Mears. Left wing to the foul line. Had it knocked away by Monahan. Mears gets it back. And it's knocked out of bounds by Giles with 19 on the shot clock. Number 13, Joey Babel checking in for Madeline Tipton. 5:13 to go first quarter. 12-9, Southern Nazarene with the lead. Bounce comes to Russell. Russell driving to the left side of the paint, pulls up short, and knocks down the mid-range jumper. Now up at midcourt, Reether has her pocket picked by Mears. Up ahead, Babel. Stops, leaves it for the trailing Winfrey, bounces it to Harrison. SNU converges, and Reether forces the tie-up. Possession arrow keeps it with the Tigers with 4:48 to go in the first quarter. Keeping it here, as we already had our media timeout on the Ouachita timeout early, and Reether knocks that one out of Russell's hand into the SNU bench. The SNU coaching staff thought that that went off of Russell last to no avail. 19 on the shot clock still. Mears fires it up top to Babel. Guarded by Giles. Babel drives right side of the paint. Cut off. Looks for help. Hands to Mears, and a travel is called on Babel as she dragged her pivot foot trying to sidle over to meet up with Mears. First turnover officially of the game for the Tigers, who trail by 1, 12-11. Harrison checks out. Fairless back in for the Tigers. Full court pressure here for Ouachita. Bounce comes to Reether, and she is taken down and is in some pain. Knocked to the ground by Laney Mears. Second team foul on the Tigers. Reether seems to be okay. At the point in the season where anybody going down, grabbing at anything, always is a hold your breath moment, no matter which team it is. Reether gives to Giles, up top to Monahan. SNU with a 1-point lead, 12-11. Here's Adams, top of the key. Gives it to Giddy, extended left elbow. Dumps it down low to Adams. Adams, a size mismatch inside, missed the shot, and a foul on Emily Monahan, knocking over Madeline Tipton, going over the back for the rebound. Actually, give that to Georgia Adams. Second team foul on the Crimson Storm, first on Georgia. 12-11 SNU. The Tigers can take the lead with a bucket on this possession. Russell holding right wing, skips it to Babel. She's got it top of the key against Adams. Now Fairless gives to Russell left wing. Russell drives to the baseline, stops, pops, air ball. Tipton got the offensive rebound, forced it back up, hit the underside of the backboard. Adams clears for SNU and gives it up to Reether. Under 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. SNU's been scoreless for 2 minutes now. Giddy, right elbow, tried to get it to Reether, knocked away from her by Tipton. Here comes Babel. Babel got it caught on her hip and forced it up anyway. She's fouled, going to the line for 2 free throws. Foul's going to be on Abby Giles. Her first, third team foul. Babel got away with a carry. She caught that on her right hip, going to the basket. Carly Gassaway checking into the contest for SNU, taking the place of Giles. SNU 1 of 4 from the field over their last 4 attempts. Babel's first free throw is good. Babel 83% at the line this season as a team. Tigers shoot 74.5%. One more to come for the sophomore from Beebe, Arkansas, and she gives the Tigers the 13-12 lead with 3:34 to go in the opening period. Russell checks out. Samantha Watson back in for Ouachita. Reether drives and dishes. Here's Adams at the foul line. Kicks it out, Reether. Right corner, run off the lane by Mears. All the way to the basket. One extra pass to Giddy inside, and she finishes with the left hand to put SNU back on the high side, 14-13. 3:10 to go opening quarter. Watson to Mears, top of the key, guarded by Monahan. Mears drives to the bucket, lost the basketball. Monahan has it. Long lead pass ahead for Carly Gassaway. She tracks it down. Pump fake. Got Babel to fly by, got away with a travel. Fairless with the rebound on the missed shot. And Carly thought Babel was a little bit closer to her than she was initially. Pass nearly goes into the backcourt, gathered in by Tipton. Tipton with 17 on the shot clock. Pulls up at the foul circle, in and out. Adams snatches down the rebound, her third of the quarter. 14-13 SNU, 2:30 to go first period. Reether gives to Monahan out near midcourt. Monahan directing traffic. Gassaway retrieves at the left wing. Now right elbow to Giddy. Can't get a pass off. Back to Reether, left wing. Reether to Gassaway, left wing. Pulls the trigger on a 3. Off to the right, no good. Rebound knocked out of bounds by Babel. Stays here with SNU with 20 on the shot clock. 2:07 to go first quarter, 14-13 SNU. The Crimson Storm shooting 43% from the field. Tigers doing some damage in the mid-range here in this first quarter to keep them close. Reether looking to inbound, gets it to Giddy at the right elbow. Giddy to Adams, left wing, open, 3, off the back iron. Mears and Watson let the rebound go between them, but Watson's the one who comes up with it. Here's Tipton to Fairless, right baseline. Across the paint she goes. Reether scrabbling for it. Fairless got Giddy in the air, got around her, missed it with the left hand. Loose ball. Gassaway and Fairless go to the floor for it. Tie up. It's SNU basketball. On the possession arrow. Substitution here for SNU. Adams checks out. Giles back in. Wholesale subs for the Tigers. Tipton, Fairless, and Babel out. Harrison, Grayson Williams, and Russell back in for the Tigers. Monahan across half court for SNU. Behind the back dribble, hands to Reether. Reether turning the corner, and she's bumped and fouled by Russell. That's number 2 on Micah Russell. 3 team fouls now on the Tigers. Giddy hands to Monahan, kicks it out. Giles open, right wing for 3. In and out. Mears clears for the Tigers. You just hadn't been able to get the threes to fall just yet, and Mears stopped on a dime, but walked. Couldn't keep the feet secure. A little shuffling of the puppies involves the 3rd turnover of the quarter for Ouachita. Russell picks up Reether full court. 1:15 to go in the quarter, 14-13 SNU. Crimson Storm shooting just 35%, 1 of 7 from 3-point range, and they've had quite a few good looks as well. The one make was a bank from Monahan from the wing. Here's Reether, left corner, open 3. That one is good from Lauren Reether. Her 33rd of the season, 44% from 3 this year for Lauren Reether, which is 2nd in the GAC. Under a minute to go for the Crimson Storm in the quarter, and with a 4-point lead as Gassaway bumps Watson to the floor to pick up her first foul. 4th team foul on the Crimson Storm with 47 seconds to go in the first quarter. Mears inbounding, left baseline, gets it into Harrison. Harrison to the baseline, pivots across the paint, blocked by Giddy. And she secures the rebound, and SNU back with possession. Reether drives, kicks it out, left corner, Gassaway, open 3, off the back iron, and a technical foul issued to Laney Mears. That's going to be a flop warning, technical. Mears went down in a heap on the drive by Reether. So 2 free throws for Lauren Reether. So the official giving an explanation to the scorer's table. So it goes down as a team foul, but it won't go down as a personal for Mears. Reether's first free throw up and good. Shooting 80% at the line this season. Nearly 8 free throw attempts per game over the last 6 for the Crimson Storm. Second one from Lauren is good. And SNU leads 19-13. With a fresh 30 on the shot clock, 30 seconds on the quarter clock, SNU will be able to burn the rest of this period with a 19-13 lead. Now the scores table getting clarification if it should be 20 or 30 seconds. It is 30 seconds on the shot clock. So SNU holding for the final shot. Trent May barking out to his team. 1 shot. Reether pestered up at midcourt by Watson. Won't be an easy dribble it out until time to go to work. She gives to Giddy, who hands back to Reether. Reether driving to the bucket, got underneath. Harrison missed the shot, and it's the rebound taken away by Grayson Williams. 6 seconds as Williams into the front court. Drives to the bucket, too strong on the scoop shot. Giddy gives to Reether, 3-quarter court heave. Off to the left, no good. It got there, just a little off to the left. But SNU leads after 1, 19-13. Our score at the Sawyer Center. A little bit of everything there in that first quarter, including an SNU lead. We'll be back with the start of the second period after these messages. This is SNU basketball.
Character, culture, and Christ have been the motto for Southern Nazarene University for many, many years. When I came as president, I was really curious about those words and really curious to dig into the archives. In fact, a conversation on campus one day with a visitor to our campus who asked that same question: what does character, culture, and Christ mean today? These days I like to talk about refining character. I think that we're all in process, and in those collegiate years, those years of a university experience, there's a great opportunity to refine character.
Welcome back to the Sawyer Center, 19-13. Southern Nazarene with the lead over Ouachita Baptist. Officials are at the scorer's table checking the replay monitor for something, not quite sure what. SNU just 33% shooting in the first quarter, 7 of 21. They were 2 of 10 from three-point range with a couple really good looks across the board. Just could not get many to fall in that first quarter. The Tigers 5 of 15 from the field, 1 of 4 from three-point range. Quick look at the schedule for tonight across the Great American Conference. Henderson State over in Shawnee taking on Oklahoma Baptist. Arkansas Tech is at Southeastern Oklahoma State. Should be a great matchup on the men's side tonight between first and second place on the men's side down in Durant. Harding's at East Central. Southern Arkansas is at Northwestern Oklahoma State, and Arkansas Monticello at Southwestern Oklahoma State this evening. Officials still huddled at the monitor. Looks like Thunder star Josh Giddey in the house, taking in big sister Hannah, performing on the court. Original starting five back out there for SNU as Georgia Adams back out there for Carly Gassaway. For the Tigers, Brooke Smith in for the first time this evening. Lainey Mears, Joey Babel, Samantha Watson, and Grayson Fairless also out there right now for the Tigers to start the second quarter. Fairless has it top of the key, looking for some help, and shovels it to Watson. Watson, right wing, pounding the dribble. Tried to get it to Fairless. Reether reached over and stole it away. Her first steal of the game, her 50th of the season. Reether races past Watson all the way to the basket. Foul on the floor. Foul on Babel. Reether wishing she was in the WNBA right now because that absolutely would have counted at the next level. But on the floor is the call, so SNU inbounding left baseline with 24 on the shot clock. Entry comes to Giddey. Over to Giles, right elbow. Here's Monahan down low, forced it up through contact, missed it. She was fouled by Russell, and that's number 3 on the freshman Micah Russell. Emily Monahan at the line for 2 free throws, 71% at the line this season. Emily's been very steady this year. Double figures 12 out of the 18 games and 3 20-point outputs. She misses the first free throw, though. What a long way she's come at the foul line. Been awesome to see her go from that being a struggle to now more of a strength as she goes 1 for 2. 9:30 to go first half. 20-13 SNU. Here's Babel. Skip pass to Smith up top, guarded by Adams. Smith into a crowd, nearly had it knocked away. Mears, a deep left wing three off the back iron, and Adams with a terrific block out. Her 4th rebound of the half. And now down low, Emily Monahan is called for the hook, trying to post up on Lainey Mears, and that's number 2 on Emily Nope, just her first. That's right, that first foul that could have gone her way was issued to Georgia Adams. So first on Emily, first on the team in the second quarter. Here's Russell working on the senior Reether. Pulls up from the foul circle, back ironed it. Monahan had it knocked away, then secures it once again. Reether has it now for SNU. Cross midcourt. Russell right in her hip pocket. Adams has it now, working against Smith. Giddey across the paint, back outside Reether. Got Russell to fly by. Left corner Monahan, no hesitation on the 3. That's very short, barely grazed iron, and Smith clears for the Tigers. Smith, unadulterated to the lane, hangs, missed the shot. Fairless offensive rebound, had it knocked away from her. Giddey secures it for SNU. Reether just inside midcourt. Now Monahan, left wing, SNU leading by 7. Tigers haven't scored in over 5 minutes. Down low, Giddy faces up on Fairless, right of the paint, into the paint. Kicks it up top. Adams, open 3, short. Giles had the rebound, had it swatted away from her by Babel, and Mears has it. Mears, left wing for the Tigers, crosses over on Monahan, gives it to Fairless on the roll to the basket. Beautiful move there from Mears and Fairless alike. The Tigers snap the 5-minute scoreless drought and only trail by 5, 20-15, 7:35 to go first half. Here's Reether. Left of center, gives it to Monahan, top of the key. Right wing, Giddy, far away from the basket. Up top to Adams, 8 on the shot clock for Adams. Backing down on Smith to the baseline, and a blocking foul is called on the Tigers. Smith bodied up Adams on the drive. Fresh 20 on the clock for the Crimson Storm. First on Smith, third on the Tigers. SNU 0 for 2 from the field to start the second quarter. Tigers 1 for 4. Reether lobs it into Giddy. Giddy goes right to the basket. Left-hand shot hit the side of the backboard. She goes down. Here comes Smith the other way for Ouachita. 3-on-2 break. Kicks it to Babel. She drives baseline, shovels to Fairless. Fairless cut off by Reether, and Giles comes over on the help side and rips it away. 5th turnover of the game for Ouachita. Down low, Monahan got deep, put it up, fouled. Missed the shot. She'll go back to the line for 2 free throws. And that's on Russell, and that's number 4 on the freshman, Micah Russell, with 7 minutes to go in the first half. Freshman being caught in some compromising positions by veteran Crimson Storm ladies. Emily's first free throw rattles out. SNU shooting just 29% from the field. Getting some good looks. Just have not been able to put them in. Monahan goes 1 for 2. The lead back to 6 at 21-15. 2 points each way here in the second quarter. Russell pulls up left of the paint, skips over the rim. Smith, the offensive rebound, and Adams is called for her second personal foul for being on her back. Hannah Duncan checking into the game for the first time. Georgia Adams checking out. Just noticing no Jenna Bay tonight for SNU, not even on the bench tonight. Fairless receives the inbounds from Mears, hands it back to her at the top of the key. Left wing, Babel. Babel drives past Giles all the way to the bucket, and she is fouled from behind by Abby Giles. So that's number 2 on Abby now. Madeline Tipton checking back in for Ouachita as Brooke Smith sits down. Babel 83% at the line. 2 for 2 at the line today. The only 2 makes for Ouachita. In and out on the first free throw. Second one from Babel is good. It hits the front rim and clambers over. Gassaway back in, so Giles and Adams both on the bench for SNU with 2 personal fouls. Crimson Storm yet to hit a field goal in the second quarter and lead by 5, 21-16. Reether, cross half court, is to Monahan. Up top, Gassaway to Giddy. Giddy looking for help, and Monahan is grabbed and fouled by Tipton. First foul on Tipton, but that's number 5 on the Tigers, so Monahan going to the line for 2 free throws. Monahan being exceptionally aggressive in the post this evening. Already 9 points, make it 10 as she hits the first free throw. Second one from Emily is perfect, and SNU leads 23-16. Still without a field goal in the second quarter, shooting 29% for the game. Russell with 4 personal fouls, staying in the contest. Dumps it left elbow to Tipton. Back to Russell. Inside. Too strong on the shot. She grabs the offensive rebound. Then Gasaway reaches in and ties her up and steals a possession for the Crimson Storm. Russell and Fairless kind of stood there looking at each other. They were the only ones in the area, and Gasaway took advantage and forced the turnover, the 6th of the half. Duncan has it for SNU across midcourt. Gives to Giddy. Out beyond the three-point line. Monahan down low. Skips it out right wing to Reether, and Monahan is called for a 3-second violation. Russell checks out. Grayson Williams back in for the Tigers. Monahan already with a foul. Needs to be a little cautious on the aggression down low. Avoid picking up that second one. Here's Babel, top of the key. Mears, left wing. In the corner, Williams. Brings it up to the wing. Dumps it left baseline, Babel. Babel is called for the offensive foul as Reether stepped over in front of Lauren Reether. Baseline official said Babel lowered her shoulder. Fortunate call for SNU is the way I'll put that one. Second one on Babel. Reether working up against Babel into the front court. Behind the screen from Giddy. To Gasaway, top of the key, back to Reether, right wing. Dumps it down low to Giddy, right baseline. Faces up on Fairless. Bumped off her spot, and a reach-in foul is called on the Tigers. It's going to go on Mears. Her second personal foul. One thing about the Tigers, they definitely foul a lot. Average over 20 fouls per game. Giddy hits the first free throw. One more to come. Second one's also good. So SNU leads 25-16. They've made the lead grow without hitting a field goal. Here's Babel from the right elbow. That's short. Giddy with the effect on that one. Reether across midcourt quickly. Behind the back dribble. Lost the basketball trying to shovel it over to Giddy. Turnover Crimson Storm, their 5th. Here's Tipton for the Tigers at the right elbow, working on Duncan. To Fairless, top of the key. Fairless picks up her dribble and needs help. Gives it to Babel. Pulls up from 12. It rattles out. Loose ball. Mears has it. Knocked away from her by Monahan. She shovels to Fairless. Fairless steps around Giddy. Rejected out of bounds by Hannah Giddy, who did a great job keeping her feet and not falling for any of the shot fakes from Grayson Fairless. Takes us to a timeout on the court. 4:37 to go in the first half. 25-16. SNU with the lead over Ouachita Baptist. We'll be back with more. This is SNU basketball. Welcome back to the Sawyer Center. SNU leads 25-16. They've expanded the lead by 3 since the end of the first quarter without hitting a single field goal. 0 for 3 officially from the field, but 6 of 8 at the free throw line in the second quarter. The Tigers, 1 of 9 from the field. It has not been an offensive showcase either way thus far. Mears inbounding left baseline with 13 on the shot clock for Ouachita. Inbounds it up top to Grayson Williams. Williams, right wing, looking for Mears. Pass went right through her hands. Out of bounds. Turnover number 8 for Ouachita. SNU's turned those into 7 points thus far. Reether working against Babel. Left wing Monahan back to Reether. Reether skips in the corner. Gassaway, quick trigger on the left corner. It's too strong. Duncan up high for the offensive rebound, and SNU with a fresh 20. Here's Giddy at the foul line. Back to Reether, top of the key. Babel flies by. Reether steps inside, sets her feet. Missed it again. Giddy the offensive rebound. That one bounces in, and SNU finally has a field goal in the second quarter and an 11-point lead, 27-16. Tipton, right wing, down low to Harrison. Harrison backing down on Giddy, puts it up too strong. Reether has it for SNU. Crossing over against Babel, behind the back. Hesitates, between the legs. Back to Giddy, right elbow. To Reether, top of the key. Reether goes away from the Giddy pick, kicks it left corner to Duncan. Duncan, with 13 on the clock, dumps it to Giddy, left elbow. Giddy, backing, picks up her dribble, looks for a cutter. Tried to get it to Monahan. Mears stepped in front of it for the steal. Mears up ahead to Tipton. Tipton. Across the paint she goes, picks up her dribble. Backdoor cut for Babel. Giddy knocked it away, couldn't quite save it on the end line with 3:17 to go in the quarter. Shot clock needs to reset, or to be changed back. It reset to 30. Officials huddling to figure out what the clock should be at. SNU now 2 of 13 from three-point range in the contest. 8 of 27 from the field. Nearly a full line change for the Tigers. Fairless, Watson, and Winfrey back in along with Mackenzie Schillmoller. Babel's the lone player who remains out there for Ouachita. Schillmoller inbounding left baseline. Fires it up top to Fairless, knocked away by Giddy. It goes into the backcourt. The Tigers will inbound in the backcourt with 19 on the shot clock. Babel gets it into Watson. 15 on the shot clock for the Tigers. Watson at the top of the key. Is behind the screen from Fairless at the foul line. Middle of the paint, goes to the left block. Hook shot, rattles off, no good. A foul on Ouachita. It's on Fairless. Her first. 2 free throws coming for the Crimson Storm. Free throw attempts 9 and 10 of the quarter. Official team fouls stop at 5 as far as in the arena goes, but that's now 8 fouls on the Tigers in the period. Giddy's first free throw up and good. Giddy 58% at the free throw line this season, a number that has risen over the course of the year. Missed the second one. Gassaway tips the rebound back to Giddy. Heady play by the sophomore there. Reether behind the Giddy pick. Picks up her dribble, gives it to Duncan. Duncan trying to get it to Giddy. It's not there. Now she does. Extended left elbow. Giddy goes right around Fairless, steps around Babel, who tried to take the charge. Missed the shot. Babel has it for the Tigers. Babel quickly into the front court, leads it to the trailing Winfrey. Now over to Watson. Watson at the GAC logo. Fades over Gassaway. Missed the shot. Gassaway the rebound. Good defense there by Carly. 2:29 to go first half. 28-16 SNU. Combined 2 made field goals in the quarter between the two squads. Duncan has it, gives back to Reether, left wing. Reether, entry pass left to the paint to Giddy. Faces up on Fairless, back up top to Reether with the 8 on the shot clock. Reether, the right elbow, steps around Babel, off the glass, too strong. Fairless knocked the rebound away to Duncan, and SNU has it. Left wing, Reether now. To Giddy at the left elbow. Giddy, across the paint, picks up her dribble, needs some help. Finds Gassaway, right corner. 5 on the shot clock now for Gassaway. Gassaway all the way to the bucket. Scoop layup, no good. Winfrey has the miss. Neither team can buy a bucket here in the second quarter. 1:40 to go. Tigers sitting on 3 points in the period. Fairless, right of the paint at 15 feet. Trying to get it to Babel, picks up her dribble, shovels it back to Babel. It's knocked out of her hands by Giddy or Reith, or one of the two. Stays with the Tigers with 12 on the shot clock. Harrison back in for Fairless. Jillian Crawford, the freshman out of Piedmont, coming in for Carly Gassaway. SNU shooting 27%, 2 of 13 from deep. The Tigers are shooting 22%, 1 of 5 from deep. 10 on the clock for Watson. Down low to Mears, high pass. She corrals it with 5 on the clock. Mears closed out by Monahan. Up top, Winfrey fires a desperation 3 at the shot clock buzzer. Good job by Hannah Duncan forcing an errant shot there. Shot clock violation and a turnover for Ouachita. 1:14 to go. First half, 28-16. Second quarter. Monahan has it in the backcourt. Guarded by Watson now. Drives past into the front court. Hands to Crawford. Crawford up top to Reither. To Giddy. Harrison ran right through Giddy trying to get that. But Giddy finds Duncan on the cut. And a layup for Hannah Duncan with a minute to go in the quarter. 30-16 SNU. Watson right of the paint. Guarded by Monahan. Gives it up to Babel near midcourt. Babel drives past Crawford, stops at the foul line, picks up her dribble, gives it to Schillmoller. Down low to Harrison. Harrison into Giddy, blocked by Giddy. Loose ball, Giddy secures it, 35 seconds. The stop sign goes up from the SNU bench. Reither across half court. He's going to pound the dribble on this one and hold for the final shot of the half, with SNU leading 30-16. In a half that they will not put in the Offensive Hall of Fame. Babel nearly knocks it away from Reither. Reither gets it to Giddy. Left wing Monahan, 5 on the shot clock. Monahan around everyone. Off the glass and good. Not sure how she found the gap, but she did. And Monahan's layup doubles up the Tigers in the first half. Babel from half court just off the front of the rim. And that's how the first half ends in Bethany. 32-16, the Crimson Storm with the halftime lead over Ouachita Baptist. Not a pretty second quarter by any stretch, but SNU will take a 13-3 margin in the second period to blow this to a 32-16 halftime lead over Ouachita. Coming up next, we'll visit with SNU men's head coach B.J. Foster and get his thoughts on tonight's contest on the men's side. We'll go with scores from around the league and get you ready for the second half of action. At halftime, 32-16, Southern Nazarene. We'll be right back after this break. Welcome back to halftime at the Sawyer Center. We're joined now by SNU men's head coach B.J. Foster. The men taking on Ouachita in the second half of our doubleheader. And B.J., a really tight one on Saturday against Southeastern. Just came up just a little bit short there in that extra period.
Yeah, it was a tough way to finish. I thought played well enough to win the game, but you gotta finish games out, and had a little lead there late, but you got to play all 40 minutes. You can't you don't get 39 and hope for that final minute. You gotta play it out, and we just fell a little short.
What were some of the positives that you took away from that game on Saturday?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of positives. I mean, we're getting better and better each time, and so. That's what you want to do this time of year. You don't want to just be content. You want to keep striving, keep getting better. A little adversity for us, but we need to finish better. We need to finish games off, and it's not good enough just to be nominated. We want to win, and so we got to do a little bit better and some more things, and be a little grittier and put things away.
Giannis, another good game for you guys on the offensive end, but some foul trouble for him the last few games. What's the step that he needs to take in order to just kind of do a little bit better on that end?
Well, I mean, honestly, our guards got to do better, and so we're running a little bit more drop coverage on the ball screens, where he's kind of playing free safety almost, and sending our guards over the top so they get behind the guards a little bit, but they got to work to get back in front. And if he's going to bail them out and try and wall up, and then we put the officials in a position that they're going to make calls, and we need to do a better job with the guards handling it themselves and not having him help so much.
Wanted to ask you about Cam Slaymaker. Has been really steady for you guys. Over 20 points in 5 of the last 7 games. But I think the thing that stands out the most, second in the league with 114 free throw attempts through 17 games this season. What's he been doing so well that's allowing him to get to the free throw line so much?
Well, I mean, he's a young guy. I mean, this is his sophomore season, kind of in and out of the lineup at the Division I level, and so he's getting real game experience, and every game he's getting to do more and to play a little bit more free, and so he's getting a great dose of what it's like to be a guy that needs to be consistent and play hard every night, and he's doing a terrific job with it. But he's involved in a lot of our offensive stuff that we do, and so he's doing a good job of finding his spots, how to drive the ball and pick up some fouls.
Tonight's opponent, Ouachita Baptist. You dropped a close 7-point game in Arkadelphia. Didn't shoot the ball particularly well, but what are some reference points that you're pointing to for your guys tonight in the second go-round against Ouachita?
Well, I mean, we're going to do some things a little bit different than last time, but we didn't play very well there. I mean, just to be frank, I mean, it was a very poor effort on our part, and so I expect us to really compete, and I think if we do that and follow the plan, I think we've been competing a lot more lately, and not having as many lulls and plays off, and so it's an important game for us at this point in the season, and we need to treat it as such, and we need to put our best foot forward.
When you have a game like that and you get to play them a second go-round, as a coach, are you hoping that your guys feel that extra little motivation to prove that first go-round wasn't the way that they want to be known for in their play?
I mean, definitely. You're hoping that that's the case. You're hoping that there's a little bit of a little thing in their gut that makes them a little bit angry, that they want to get out there and really take it to a team. That's what we're hoping happens tonight. We feel like we've prepared. We feel like we know exactly what's going to happen. I mean, they're playing pretty good right now. They had a kid set a NCAA record, I think, 2 games ago, going 10 for 10 from the three-point line, and so they're definitely a good team. But we just need to do our job and do it very well.
Well, BJ, thanks for your time, and look forward to seeing you guys against the Tigers this evening.
All right, thanks, Luke.
That's SNU men's head coach BJ Foster. Right now at halftime, the GAC champions from a year ago, Sweet 16 team being recognized out at midcourt. A couple of the current players, Kent Gerard, Sean Barthelemy, assistant coach RJ Palmer, also Mo and Peyton Walker out there as well. Ian Mowat, Adokie EIA, Xavier Bryant, Zach Franklin, Mo Wilson also out there right now. Of course, several members of that squad not in attendance tonight because they're off playing elsewhere. Javon Jackson out at Utah State, Tyler McGuy at UC San Diego, and Nick Davis up at University of Omaha. But cool to see those guys getting their recognition moment for just an outstanding season last year. Just one step away from the Elite Eight last year after the big win over Northwest Missouri State, but a Sweet 16 trip, nothing to sneeze at for this SNU men's program. We'll take a short break, and when we come back, scores from around the conference first half stats and the second half of action coming your way from the Sawyer Center. This is SNU basketball. Welcome back to the Sawyer Center. It is halftime between Southern Nazarene and Ouachita Baptist, and the Crimson Storm find themselves on top by 16, 32 to 16. Luke McConnell with you here at halftime above Bobby Martin Court. The SNU women back out there getting loose for the second half of action. A slow-moving first half in Bethany this evening. A lot of fouls in that second quarter. 11 total fouls in that second quarter. 8 of those on the Tigers, leading to SNU shooting 10 of 13 in that first half from the free throw line. The Crimson Storm just 31% from the field, including 3 of 11 in the second quarter. Missed all 3 of their threes in the second quarter as well. 2 of 13 from deep for SNU. And again, 10 of 13 from the foul line. Ouachita Baptist, much worse, if that could be possible. 6 of 30 from the field, 20%. They were 1 of 7 from 3, 3 of 6 at the free throw line. They were 1 of 15 in the second quarter. Some of that, just missed shots. A lot of that, excellent defense from the Crimson Storm. 3 total points in the second quarter for Ouachita Baptist. SNU winning on the glass 22-19, and even 5-5 on the offensive glass, 7-4. And SNU edge in second chance points. SNU 16-4 on points in the paint. 9 points off 8 Ouachita turnovers for SNU. 2 points off 6 SNU turnovers for the Tigers, and an SNU lead of 5-0 in fast break points in the first half. Individually for the Crimson Storm, Emily Monahan leading the way. 13 points, 4 of 7 from the field, 4 of 6 at the free throw line. 7 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 blocks for Hannah Giddy, stuffing the stat sheet as usual, as is Lauren Reether. 5 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal. Just 1 of 6 shooting, though, for Lauren in the first half. 5 points, 5 boards for Georgia Adams. No points for Abby Giles, Jillian Crawford, or Carly Gassaway, and 2 points, 2 rebounds off the bench for Hannah Duncan. For the Tigers, 4 points for Micah Russell, 3 for Joey Babel, 2 each for Grayson Fairless, Madeline Tipton, and Abby Harrison, and 3 for Lainey Mears, rounding out the scoring for the Tigers. Across the league, everybody else, because apparently the officials in the other games across the league didn't call as many fouls as they did here in the first half. They're all in the third quarter already. So this is early third quarter action in Alva. 32-21 Northwestern over Southern Arkansas. Faith Simpson 16 points, 6 rebounds already in that one after going for 44 against Southwestern last Thursday. Out in Weatherford, it's Monticello 36, Southwestern 29 at the immediate timeout of the third quarter. 4:47 to go in the period there. 30-27 Oklahoma Baptist over Henderson State. 7 minutes to go third quarter. 7 minutes to go third quarter in Durant. It's 28-27 Southeastern over Arkansas Tech. And down in Ada, nearly the end of the third quarter already. 2:24 to go in the period. 38-33 Harding over East Central. Bit of a tighter game than one would expect between those two squads. So we'll keep an eye on that, see if the Tigers can pull the upset. Obviously, Harding certainly has its eyes set on SNU coming to town next Saturday afternoon. Crimson Storm have never won in Searcy, and the Bisons would like to keep it that way next Saturday afternoon at Rhodes Reeves Fieldhouse. But got to get through the Tigers, the Savage Storm, and Oklahoma Baptist before the Bisons can get a shot at SNU. So that'll do it on the scores from around the league. Coming into tonight, SNU on top, obviously, at 18-0 and 12-0 in conference play. Harding at 11-1 in the league. Northwestern 9-3, Henderson State 8-4, Southwestern 7-5, Arkansas Tech at 6-6, and both OBUs, Oklahoma and Ouachita Baptists at 5-7. Southern Ark is at 4-8. Monticello and Southeastern both at 2-10, and East Central at 1-11, rounding out the standings. Pretty clear gap between at least the top 9, but a pretty clear gap across the league in general on the women's side, even though it is deep. Possibilities do exist for 4 women's teams to get into the Central Region. We'll see how February shakes out. Opportunities abound for the GAC. Here in Bethany, 32-16 as we start the second half. Ouachita Baptist basketball moving right to left to start the second half. Audrey Winfrey getting the second half start in place of Abby Harrison. Original starting 5 out there for SNU. Giddy, Reether, Monahan, Giles, and Adams. Giles and Adams each with 2 personal fouls. Babel has it. For Ouachita, bounces to Tipton, out to Fairless, back to Mears. Mears. Offensive foul is called on Grayson Fairless for a moving screen. Trying to free up Mears. Second foul on Fairless. And just 8 seconds in. First team foul of the quarter for the Tigers. Inbounds comes to Reether. Robert Dalmore wanting a travel on Reether in front of his own bench. Did not get the call. Here's Giddy, top of the key. Trying to get it to Giles. Unable to do so. Back out Reether, left wing. Reether stops, gives it to Adams. 10 on the shot clock for Georgia. The foul line finds Monahan, cutting to the basket, splits the defense, and lays it in for 2. A great drive by Monahan. A nice dish from Georgia Adams, her first assist of the game. SNU 8 assists on 11 made baskets tonight. 34-16 Southern Nazarene. Right corner, Winfrey back up to the wing, and Babel. Top of the key now. Tipton has it, guarded by Giles. Winfrey open on the right wing, pulls the trigger for 3. No good. Giddy with a nice box out on Fairless. Gets the rebound and gives it over to Reether. Reether creates some space on Babel. Babel with a little stumble there. Gives to Giddy. And Tipton draws the charge on Emily Monahan. Second foul on Emily. Not a lot of contact there between Monahan and Tipton. Definitely could have called Emily for a lot worse in the first half. Here's Mears. She has it against Monahan. Drives baseline. Off the glass. No good. And the lid on the basket is ironclad for the Tigers. Adams has it left wing for SNU. Up top between the rings to Reether. 34-16. Tigers have not scored in 7 minutes and 45 seconds of game action. Here's Adams straight away for 3. Missed that one off to the left. Rebound is loose. Giles tracks it down for SNU. Gives to Reether left wing. Drives. Kicks it out. Giles wide open right wing. It's on line. It's off the back iron. SNU can't buy a basket from deep. Now 2 of 15. We talked on Saturday how good SNU's been from 3 in January, and they promptly go under 30% the next 2 games. Pass deflected by Giles, stolen by Giddy. Here comes SNU the other way, the 10th turnover of the night for Ouachita. Reether between the legs, spins to the baseline. Left-hand layup is good. Beautiful move from Lauren Reether. Here's Mears up ahead of the pack for 3, and she rips the cords finally. Her second three-pointer of the game. And that shuts down nearly a 9-minute game scoreless drought for the Tigers. 36-19, SNU with the lead. Giddy hands to Reether, top of the key. Reether at the left elbow, gives it to Monahan, top of the key. Run off the line by Winfrey. Monahan, oh, nice dish to Giddy, but an offensive foul is called on Monahan as Babel stepped over and took the charge. Second foul of the quarter on Monahan. Fairless checks out, Abby Harrison back in. Babel quickly up ahead. Mears wide open right wing for 3 and rattles it in. SNU got caught napping there. 36-22, back-to-back triples for Mears. Tigers trying to claw away at this lead. Here's Giddy, left elbow. Faces up on Harrison, trying to get free, gives it to Monahan, left corner. Monahan splits the double team to the basket, missed the shot, got her own rebound, A reach-in foul on the Tigers. That's on Audrey Winfrey, her first. Second team foul. Monahan checks out. Gassaway in for the first time in the third quarter for the Crimson Storm. First breather of the night for Monahan. Reether inbounds to Giddy, left baseline. Around the paint she goes. Harrison with a nice block. Giddy saves it, and it's deflected out of bounds off of Ouachita. Nice block there by Abby Harrison, her 7th of the season. Adams inbounding in front of the SNU bench with 14 on the shot clock. Inbounds comes to Giddy, left elbow. Hands to Reether. Reether drives to the basket. Floater over Babel is good. Lauren Reether pulled up short of Babel and knocked down the little floater. Here's Harrison at the foul circle for Ouachita. Trying to take Giddy to school, and Giddy reaches in, ties her up, jump ball, turnover as the possession arrow gives it back to SNU with 6:22 to go in the third quarter. 38-22, Southern Nazarene with the lead. Shooting has come a little bit better in this second quarter. SNU 3 of 7, Ouachita 2 for 4 with a pair of triples from Lainey Mears. Adams holding top of the key, gives to Reether. Reether splits the gap and is called for a carry. Looked like there was a deflection. Trent May wanted there to be one. The official on the near side below us said there wasn't a deflection. Turnover on the Crimson Storm is their 9th, the 5th credited to Reether tonight. Here's Babel, top of the key to Tipton. Tipton's been quiet tonight, just 2 points. Mears, cut off, shovels to Harrison, gives it back to Mears. Mears doubled, and Giles and Reether were on that like shark on blood in the ocean. Force a tie-up. Ouachita keeps possession with 6 on the shot clock. SNU with 6 steals tonight. Nearly had number 7 there. Mears gets it into Tipton. Tipton backing down on Giles, fades, fires, and it rolls off again for the Tigers. Giddy, another rebound, her 10th of the evening. 5:30 to go, third quarter. Reether crosses over on Babel, and she is fouled as Mears reached in, committed the foul. It's her third. Harrison checks out, Fairless back in for the Tigers. Third foul on Ouachita right there. 5:26 to go, third quarter. Giddy has it at the foul circle, over to Giles on the other side. She gives to Reether. Nearly lost the basketball. Reether calling for the screen from Giddy, goes left. 8 on the shot clock, up top to Giles. Giles drives on Mears to the GSC logo. Giles steps around her left-hand layup, missed it short, got her own miss, put it back up, no good. Winfrey has it. Got away with a travel there. She was gathering it in. Gives it up to Tipton. Under 5 to go, third quarter, 38-22. SNU with the lead. Tipton to the basket. She's fouled going up. She'll shoot 2 free throws. The foul on Abby Giles, her third, and the team's third in the quarter. Timeout on the court. 4:52 to go in the third quarter, 38-22. SNU maintaining their 16-point halftime lead. Shooting is still a struggle for the Crimson Storm, just 3 of 9 in the quarter. We'll come back with more after this break. Welcome back to the Sawyer Center. SNU leading 38-22. Has not been a very pretty offensive night either way. Ouachita can't seem to get anything to fall inside the paint. SNU can't get anything to fall outside the paint. Just a rough shooting night all around. SNU just under 32% from the field. The Tigers just under 23% from the field. Madeline Tipton at the line for 2 free throws. 71% at the line this season. Knocks down the first one. Tipton's been in double figures 6 of the last 8 games, averaging 15 points per game in that stretch. She goes 2 for 2 from the free throw line. The lead is 14, 38-24. Reether gives it to Giddy, top of the key, hands it back to Reether. Reether holding against Babel. Right corner Gasaway, down low to Giddy, and a bump and a foul. It's on Fairless. That's her third, fourth team foul on the Tigers. Reether inbounding, lobs it into the paint to Giles, gives it to Giddy at the foul line. Left wing Adams. Adams drives into a crowd. Left-hand shot off the glass. It bounces around and out. Long lead pass for the Tigers. Finds Mears on the right wing. Mears splits the defense all the way down low. Fairless bobbled it, lost it, got it back. Fades, fires off the glass. No good. Babel tips it back up top to Winfrey. Open three, in and out. Gasaway another rebound, her fourth. Somebody must have tightened these rims over the weekend, over the course of the early week, because neither team can get a bounce to fall. Babel knocks that Reether dribble into the SNU bench. 3:59 to go at third quarter. Adams checks out. Duncan back in for the Crimson Storm. Giles inbounds to Giddy. Extended left elbow, hands to Reether. Full head of steam into the paint. Skips it out, Gasaway open, right wing for three. High-arcing shot, short. Winfrey has the miss. Dead on line, just a little short. Here's Babel into the front court to Winfrey. Open three from the left wing. That back iron, that one. Giles has the miss for SNU, her fourth rebound of the evening. SNU scoreless over 3 minutes now. Reether at the right elbow. Down low, Giddy got free and laid it in for two. There's Babel into the paint for Ouachita. Gives to Winfrey. Now Mears along the baseline. Found some space. Out top, Fairless to Mears. Open, deep three. Just left of center. It's good. Timeout called by Robert Dallimore, and Lainey Mears. 3 triples in the quarter. She's got a team-high 12. Robert Dallimore wants a full timeout. 3:03 to go in the third quarter. 40-27. Southern Nazarene with the lead. Both Giddy and Reether with 9 for SNU. Monahan with 15. Tigers have made 3 field goals in the period, all 3 of them 3-pointers from Lainey Mears. Just has not been a pretty night for either offense, to say the least. Both teams shooting 33% from the field in the quarter. They also both shot 33% in the first quarters, which are the best shooting quarters of the evening both ways. SNU 1 of their last 13 from three-point range. They're 2 of 16 from deep for the game. Sometimes you win ugly. Plenty of time left in this one for the lids to be removed from the basket. 40-27 SNU, 3:03 to go third quarter. No subs out of the timeout either way. Reether has it in the backcourt, pestered by Babel. Giles left wing for SNU. Holding, gives it up to Giddy, top of the key. Now Reether has it, right of center. Up top, Gasaway. Left wing to Giddy. Giddy to Duncan, top of the key. Back to Giddy. Gives it to Duncan on the give and go. Duncan too strong on the shot. Knocked the rebound away from Winfrey, but Mears has it. Excellent dive to the basket by Duncan. Couldn't finish. Winfrey, top of the key, picks up her dribble, gives it to Mears. Mears guarded by Reether. Drives left, down the paint, floater over Giddy, off the glass. It spun out, no good. Gasaway tipped the rebound, but Fairless came up with it. Fairless blocked by Giddy. Giddy collects the miss in a crowd and gets it over to Reether. 2 minutes to go in the quarter, 40-27. Here's Duncan. Bounce pass, left block to Giddy. Giddy, one-on-one with Fairless. Giddy, backing her down, spins to the baseline. Left-hand shot is good. Too easy for Hannah Giddy. You can hear the whole bench imploring her to take advantage of the situation. Here's Babel, down low to Fairless. Got behind Giddy on the roll and laid it in for two. 42-29. 1:38 to go, third quarter. Reether between the rings, gives it to Giddy, left elbow. Giddy surveys, gives it to Giles, heading left side of the paint, kicks left corner, Gasway, top of the key now, Duncan, right wing, Reether. Entry pass, right block to Giddy, backing down on Fairless, got around her again, left-hand shot off the glass and good. Hannah Giddy, a double-double tonight, 13 points, 11 boards, also has 4 blocks and 4 assists. The lead is 15. Giles knocks the pass away from Tipton into Robert Dallamore's hands. 22 on the shot clock. Gasaway checks out. Monahan back in. Fairless out and Harrison back in for the Tigers. 1:09 to go third quarter. 22 on the shot clock for Ouachita. SNU nursing a 15-point lead. Mears inbounding in front of her own bench. Needing help, gets it into Babel. Babel pounding the left-hand dribble, drives, cut off, finds open Tipton underneath. Missed the shot short, but she was fouled by Hannah Duncan. First on Duncan, fourth on the Crimson Storm with 1:01 to go in the quarter. Tipton at the line for 2 free throws. 2 for 2 today. First one makes it 3 for 3. Four minutes to go in Ada. Harding continues to lead, but it's tight, 51-48 over East Central. Tipton goes 2 for 2. Minute to go, third quarter, 44-31 SNU. Here's Monahan, right wing. Up top, Duncan. Pass knocked away out of bounds off of Babel. She got around Reether there. Monahan inbounding to the right of Trent May. Fires it into Giddy. Gives it back to Monahan. Stops, steps around, and is called for a travel. 10th turnover of the game for SNU. Micah Russell checking back in for the first time in the second half. Winfrey sits down. Russell picked up 4 personal fouls in 9 minutes in the first half. 45 seconds to go, third quarter. Crimson Storm lead by 13, 44-31. Here's Mears, left wing. Up top, Babel. Down low to Harrison, right of the paint. Backing down on Giddy. Giles knocked it away from her, then knocked it away again after Harrison got it back, and Giles has the steal. Giles leaves it back for Monahan, top of the key. Shot clock is off. 20 seconds to go in the period. Reether checks over with Trent May and says, hold steady. Reether doubled, knocked away from her by Harrison. Babel had it. Now it's stolen back by Reether. Down low looking for Monahan. It's kicked out of bounds by Tipton with 2 seconds to go in the quarter. SNU will have the final shot. Samantha Watson checking in for Mears for this final possession. 44-31 SNU. Reether inbounding. Gets it in. Monahan off the glass. It rolls off. No good at the buzzer. That type of night on offense for both squads. That's how the third quarter ends. 44-31. The Crimson Storm with a 13-point lead heading to the final stanza. We'll be back with more. This is SNU basketball. Welcome back to Bethany. 10 minutes to play with SNU leading by 13, 44-31. Quick check on scores. Fourth quarter in Alva, 47-39. Northwestern with the lead over Southern Arkansas. Monticello continues to lead Southwestern 49-44 with 5 minutes to go. It's 49-46 Oklahoma Baptist over Henderson with 7 minutes. Southeastern leads Tech 50-44, 5 minutes to go, and 1 minute to go in Ada, 57-54 Harding. Reether fires it down low to Giddy, backing down on Harrison. Pivoting, goes to the right-hand hook, off the back iron. Monahan, the offensive rebound, had it swatted away by Watson, but a foul is called on Watson correctly there. First on Watson, first on the Tigers. Reether inbounding, gets it into Giddy. Giddy down low, goes to the other foot and is called for a travel. Swap pivot foots with out putting the ball on the floor. 11 turnovers for SNU tonight. SNU only leads by 13. They've led by as many as 20. Tipton faces up against Giles, 15 feet from the basket. Backing down into the paint. Hangs. Missed the shot, but she was fouled. That's number 4 on Abby Giles with 9:22 to play. Madeline Tipton 4 for 4 at the line today, just 1 of 5 from the field, but it's back there for 2 more. SNU has not scored a minute and a half. Tipton's first falls off, no good. Second one from Tipton rattles out as well. Kind of inconceivable how many shots have bounced off the rim 2 or 3 times before falling off or been halfway down and fallen out. I'm not sure how that free throw missed. Giddy right elbow finds Reether down low on the cut. She got in front of Watson and laid it in for 2. Reether into double figures with 11, the third SNU player in double figures tonight. Harrison, 15 feet from the basket, find Mears down low. Mears to the left elbow, fades on Giles, left it short off the front iron. Reether collects her 5th rebound of the evening. 46-31, 8:40 to play. It has not been pretty. Giles to Giddy. Giddy across the paint, kicks it left corner. Duncan, open 3, it's good! Giddy saw that the whole way and took her time, drawing the defense to her to give Duncan more space. And Duncan with 5 points off the bench tonight. Here's Tipton, drives past Giles. Left-hand floater off the glass from the middle of the paint is good for Madeline Tipton. 8 points for Tipton tonight. SNU leads by 16, 49-33. 8 minutes to play. Right elbow, Hannah Giddy. Giddy looking. Across the paint again, gives it to Duncan. Duncan into the paint, gives it back to Giddy, left baseline. Giddy backing, gets it to Reether, left wing. Reether drives, floater over Harrison. It's no good. Reether's going to the line for 2 free throws. Giles out, Adams back in. Fairless and Winfrey and Mears back in for Tipton and Harrison for Ouachita. Reether's first free throw clambers in. First time we've seen that happen tonight. Second one from Lauren is up off the back iron. Giddy tips the rebound away from Fairless, but into the hands of Babel. Babel up ahead to Watson. Watson into the paint. Stops, fades, left-hand shot, left it short. Giddy another rebound, her 13th of the night. Reether into the front court for SNU. Directing traffic. Tried to go to Giddy, knocked away by Babel. Stolen by Babel. Nope, stepped on the sideline trying to save it. It's not a great look there from Reether. Babel was sagging off, and the opportunity was not there. Reether between the rings. 15 on the shot clock for SNU. Giddy hands to Monahan to Duncan, left wing Adams. Good ball move by the Crimson Storm. Adams has a free lane to the basket. Scoop shot's no good. Winfrey clears the glass. Here's Mears for Ouachita. Behind the back dribble, trying to free herself of Monahan. Picks up her dribble. Monahan's in her grill now. Gives it up to Babel, right wing. 7 minutes to play. 17-point lead for SNU. Babel, top of the key, right wing to Winfrey. Winfrey, checked by Adams, gives to Fairless at the foul circle. Fairless with 5, backing down on Giddy, steps around her, left-hand shot. It dies on the back iron and falls in for 2 for Grayson Fairless. She's got 6 this evening, and the lead is 15, 50-35. 6:40 to play in Bethany. Duncan to Reether, right wing for SNU. Reether skip pass to Adams, top of the key, to Giddy, right elbow. Giddy gives to Adams, and a foul off the ball is called on Winfrey, trying to shield Monahan from cutting to the basket. Third team foul on the Tigers with 6:22 to play. Russell checking in for Ouachita along with Tipton. Mears and Babel check out. Reether inbounding for SNU. Gets it in the left corner to Giddy. Giddy, cross-court skip pass to Duncan. A 3-second is called on Monahan, who was outside of the paint when that happened. Not even sure the ball had been inbounded for 3 seconds at that point. But a turnover it is, the 13th of the game for SNU. Watson around the screen up top. And an offensive foul is the call on Grayson Fairless. Another moving screen as she hit Monahan curling around. That's the 4th on Fairless, so she joins Russell with 4 personal fouls for Ouachita. Giles with 4 for SNU. Reether gives to Monahan, right wing for SNU. Russell knocked it away, or might have clipped Monahan in the face. Reether from the left wing splashes in the triple, her second triple of the game. And SNU back up by 18. Winfrey to challenge it. Misses the 3 off the back iron, but a loose ball foul on Monahan, colliding with Watson on the offensive rebound attempt. 4th foul on Emily. 2nd foul on the Crimson Storm with 5:44 to play. Babel back in for the Tigers. 53-35 SNU. Crimson Storm 3 for 5 from the field, 2 for 2 from deep in the 4th quarter. Russell has it out near midcourt for Ouachita. Reether in defense. Russell between the legs. Gives it to Babel. Driving baseline, lost it. It goes off of Reether last with 10 on the shot clock. Babel inbounding left baseline. It's it into Winfrey. 15-foot jumper on the way, rattled halfway down and out. Just unbelievable how many shots have done that this evening for both squads. Reether to Adams, left wing. Now to Giddy, left of the paint for SNU. Faces up, fires 15-footer, too strong. Monahan goes to the floor with Tipton for the loose ball. A jump ball is the call. The tie-up gives possession to the Tigers with 5:09 to play. Schillmuller checks back in for Ouachita for Winfrey. Russell into the front court for Ouachita, the freshman. Has it at the top of the key. Gives it to Fairless, right wing. Lobs down low to Tipton, and a foul is called on Emily Monahan, and that is her 5th personal foul. Trying to battle with Madeline Tipton, and Monahan heads out. 15 points, 5 of 10 shooting, 4 rebounds for Monahan. That brings us to timeout on the court. 4:54 to go in the ballgame, 53-35, SNU with the lead, trying to close out Ouachita here at the Sawyer Center. We'll be back with the conclusion after these messages. This is SNU basketball.
Legacy began in 1973. That was the year NCAA Division II was born. And since the very first day, our division has shaped generations of student athletes with a true sense of academics, athletics, and community. That is 5 decades of graduations, championships, teamwork, and personal development. 50 years of shaping student athletes into world-class leaders. NCAA Division II. Our division, our legacy.
Welcome back to Bethany. 4:54 to play. Emily Monahan, the first player to foul out both ways. Carly Gassaway in for her. Pass deflected by SNU. Nobody. Trent May saying it wasn't deflected. Hannah Duncan and Hannah Giddy, the only 2 SNU players who could have touched it, said they didn't touch it, but it's another missed shot for Tipton and another rebound for Giddy, her 15th of the night. Reether holding right wing, gives it to Adams. Open, doesn't pull the trigger. Left side to Duncan, to Giddy at the foul circle. Back to Adams. Adams, 8 on the shot clock. Working on Tipton, creates some space. And an offensive foul is called on Georgia Adams. Put an arm into the body of Tipton there. 3rd foul on Adams. 4th foul on Crimson Storm. Harrison back in for Fairless. So 4 fouls each way with 4:15 to play. 53-35 SNU. Russell splits everyone, got inside and laid it in for 2. 53-37, Crimson Storm. Giddy, extended right elbow, gives it to Adams, top of the key. Adams, in a crowd, gives it left corner to Reether. Reether, entry pass to Giddy, knocked away by Harrison. Giddy tracks it down, gives it to Duncan. Duncan to Gassaway, right wing. 10 on the shot clock. Good entry pass to Giddy. Underneath, she's fouled. She'll go to the line for 2. Foul on Harrison is her 2nd. 5th foul for the Tigers, so the Tigers over the bonus with 3:46 to go in the ball game. Giddy 3 for 4 at the line today, 13 points, 15 rebounds, 6 assists. She misses the first free throw. 2 steals and 4 blocks. Second free throw, off the back iron, no good. Harrison had the rebound, loose ball. Duncan has it, shovels it out to Giddy. And a timeout called by Trent May. Save the possession. Good hustle by Gassaway and Duncan alike to steal that possession back for the Crimson Storm with 3:41 to play. "30-second timeout here for Trent May. Just some words for his top 5 team. Next 3 for SNU. Henderson State, Arkansas Tech on the road, and Harding on the road. Not an easy stretch for the Crimson Storm. Especially SNU shoots 35% once again. Henderson State, a very capable offensive team. So we'll see how SNU bounces back from this offensive performance here this evening. Inbounds comes to Lauren Reether out near midcourt. Babel in defense there. Reether trying to create some space. Drives all the way to the basket, just throws it up and is rewarded with an offensive foul as Schillmoller stepped over and took the charge. .3:30 to play. Just the first foul on Reether, but now both teams over the foul limit. Russell hesitates, drives by Duncan, missed the shot, but a foul on Hannah Duncan. Second on Duncan, and Micah Russell at the line for 2 free throws. 6 points today. Picked up 4 fouls in the first half. First one drops for the freshman. 3:21 to go, 53-38. SNU with the lead. She goes 2 for 2. Reether up ahead to Giddy. Guarded by Winfrey. Back cut to Duncan. Right corner, Gassaway open for 3. That one finally drops. Carly Gassaway on her 7th field goal attempt finally gets one to fall. And SNU up by 17 again, 56-39. Russell gives to Tipton. Tipton drives all the way to the basket, missed the shot. Giddy another rebound, her 16th. Giddy and Reether yet to come off the floor this evening. Giddy has it right wing. Reether goes down. Giddy to Adams, left wing. Adams drives by Tipton to the basket. Scoop layup is no good. Giddy soaring in for the offensive rebound. They swing it around. Gassaway top of the key for 3. In and out. 2.5 minutes to go. 56-39 SNU. Tipton inside out. Blocked by Giddy. Controlled by Duncan. You can't just drive at a brick wall and expect to come out better for it. 5th block of the night for Giddy. She's got the basketball now, top of the key. Left of center, now Reether has it. Goes away from the Giddy pick. In the right corner, Duncan. Open 3 on the way. That's an air ball over the rim. Tipton has the miss for Ouachita. Brings it into the front court. Left corner, Schillmoller. Open 3. Too strong. Gassaway tracks down the rebound, her 5th of the night. Reether across half court with 1:40 to play. Behind the screen from from Giddy. Reether got it caught on her hip. Picks up her dribble, gives it to Adams. Left corner, Duncan. Down low, Giddy. Hit the underside of the rim with the shot. Looked a little bit like tired legs there for Hannah. Up top, Russell. Down low, pass deflected by Duncan. Intended for Babel, and Reether has it now for SNU. Reether up top. Right wing, Giddy. Looking for a cutter. It's Duncan to the basket. Missed the shot short. Minute to go. 56-39. Reether, a deflection and a steal for the Crimson Storm. And a timeout for subs for the Crimson Storm. Starters head out. The bench is cleared for SNU. Umi Atsuka, Anna Kokoli, Shannon Burton, Kimberly Cook, and Jillian Crawford in for the Crimson Storm. With 52 seconds left. Grayson Williams, Aubrey Henderson, Brooke Smith out there for the Tigers, along with Winfrey and Schillmoller. There's Kokoli, right elbow. Up top, Atsuka. Shot fake. Gives it to Kokoli on the roll. Outside Burton, 18-foot jumper is no good. Here comes Henderson for Ouachita. Up ahead to Smith. Back to Williams. Williams, drive and kick. Up top, Henderson, shot fake. Gives it back to Williams. Williams into the paint, across the lane. The left-hand shot's no good, but a foul is the call on Atsuka. So 2 free throws on the docket for Grayson Williams. Williams' first free throw on the way, clambers in. One more for Williams, the junior out of McKinney, Texas, and she knocks it down. 25 seconds to play. Jillian Crawford with the basketball in her hands for SNU, walking it into the front court. SNU doesn't need to shoot. Shot clock is off. And Crawford is going to dribble out. The 19th win of the season for the Crimson Storm. They moved to 19-0, 13-0 in conference play. 20 straight at home and 33 straight in the regular season as SNU wins this one 56-41 over Ouachita Baptist. Not the prettiest affair tonight, but SNU gets another win and maintains their hold on first place in the Great American Conference. Crimson Storm shot just 33% tonight from the field. 5 of 21 from three-point range and 11 of 17 from the free throw line. And both teams huddling up for a moment of prayer at midcourt. Cool moment between these two squads. Mackenzie Schillmuller leading the prayer right now with these two squads. A junior out of Bedford, Texas at Euless Trinity High School. Ouachita Baptist shoots 24.5% from the field, 4 of 15 from deep, and 11 of 16 from the free throw line. Of course, SNU assistant coach Kayla Tucker, a former Ouachita Baptist assistant 2 years ago. Oh, there's some bonds between these two squads. SNU won the battle on the boards tonight, 44-35, 13-8 on the offensive glass, leading to a 9-4 edge in second chance points this evening. SNU 30-12 on points in the paint, 16 points off 16 Ouachita turnovers, 9 points for Ouachita, 15 SNU turnovers. SNU a 5-3 edge in fast break points. Individually for SNU tonight, 15 points apiece for Emily Monahan and Lauren Reether. Both of them went 5 of 10 from the field as well. Hannah Giddy, who we will speak with in just a few moments, 13 points, 17 rebounds tonight, along with 6 assists and 5 blocks. 5 points off the bench for Hannah Duncan, 3 for Carly Gassaway, 5 points off back in the starting lineup for Georgia Adams. Just 2 for 10 from the field. She also had 5 rebounds in 24 minutes of action. Lainey Mears leading the way for the Tigers with 12 points, 8 for Madeline Tipton, 8 for Micah Russell, 6 for Grayson Fairless, 2 for Abby Harrison, 3 for Joey Babel, and 2 for Grayson Williams to round out the scoring for the Tigers. Taking a look at scores from around the league on the women's side, Northwestern beat Southern Arkansas tonight 65-49. Southwestern came back and outscored Monticello 23-11 in the fourth quarter to win that one 59-53. Henderson State outscored Oklahoma Baptist 21-7 in the fourth quarter to win that game 63-56. Southeastern getting the upset win over Arkansas Tech tonight 64-57. 27-12 for Caitlin Kabisky tonight. 15 off the bench for Grace Alverson. And Harding hangs on to beat East Central tonight 64-56, the final score down in Ada. We'll take a short break as the men's team's out there getting loose right now for the second half of our doubleheader, but we'll take a break and come back with SNU head coach Trent May and Hannah Giddy. This is SNU basketball. Welcome back to the Sawyer Center. SNU wins tonight over Ouachita Baptist. We're joined now by Hannah Giddy. Big game tonight for Hannah, 13.17 rebounds in the win for SNU. And Hannah, basketball is a great game to watch. Sometimes the game is not as pretty as you'd like it to be. Really tough one, but you guys got the win again.
Yeah, look, it was a tough one. They never let out. They play really hard against us, and that's the key. We just have to play harder, and I think that's what we did tonight.
Is it frustrating at times to play against a team that, kind of likes to muck it up a little bit and not, where it's not as free-flowing as it is against other teams?
Yeah, for sure. It is a bit, it is a bit frustrating at times, but, we tend to, we just need to run our stuff, be patient, and once we do that, we're usually pretty good, so, yeah.
What was working well for you guys to be able to, keep the lead? You maintain the lead through that, after that brief lead for Ouachita in that first quarter. What allowed you to maintain and lengthen it even though the offense wasn't really clicking as well as it could have?
We really emphasized the driving kicks, and we said that the more we drive and the more we kick, the better the threes we get, and I think that's what, even though our threes weren't dropping, we still were getting good shots, and then, in the paint, we really dominated the paint tonight, which was really big for us.
How big is it to be able to rely on your defense in moments like that? Shots aren't falling. You guys took, especially in that second quarter, you guys didn't make a field goal for about the first 6 minutes, but you were still able to lengthen the lead because your defense and free throws.
I mean, defense is our specialty in our team, and Coach May really emphasizes defense, and so we know that if we're in a scoring drought, we have to lock up and we have to defend and not let them score, so we don't, they don't shorten the lead to us.
Big game on Saturday against Henderson State, a little bit more potent offensively than Ouachita, and will probably look a little bit different. What do you expect from the Reddies on Saturday?
They love to drive and kick, and we'll just be ready to guard that and be our help, and have our help side defense. If someone gets beat, that's what we're known for. So yeah, we'll be good.
Well, Hannah, congrats on the win. Look forward to seeing you on Saturday.
Thank you.
We'll be back with Trent May in just a moment. Welcome back. We're joined by head coach Trent May after SNU's 56-41 win over Ouachita Baptist tonight. And Trent, it's a win. You're never going to apologize for a win. You've made that very clear over our time together.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot that goes into it. I mean, we didn't start preparing today, right? I mean, there's preparation goes in. Assistants do a great job of having our players ready. There's a lot that goes into it. There's a lot of minutes played tonight. A lot of girls that have banged up bodies that are playing hard tonight, and I think the biggest thing is for me is like you better enjoy it. Just because we're used to winning doesn't mean it doesn't take more gratitude, right? That you don't appreciate every single win, man, because it doesn't come easy, right? No team's gonna lay down for us. They didn't lay down for us, and so if you win it easy and it's not, still be grateful that you got the opportunity.
Absolutely. What were some of the things that you felt were struggles for your team tonight?
We just fall into lulls. You just kind of play a little bit versus you don't think about the standards. We do have high expectations, and we play a certain way, train a certain way, and expect a certain way. And it's easy to fall into the rim of but it doesn't have to be boring. 40 minutes, man. You don't have to make it boring. There doesn't have to be any boring involved, right? I mean, you got 40 minutes, and only so many minutes in the course of a year to play college basketball. So, I mean, for me, it's like there should just be a fun disposition on the floor of excitement of playing, especially in our program, man. So it's just kind of like I'm just playing. Like, what are you playing for, right? Anybody plays. I mean, look, go to a noon league game or go to intramurals, man. They just play. Ours is certain different, man. That brand, man, should never be boring.
What were some of the things that you were pleased with here tonight?
I mean, we had, I challenged them about the steals piece. I think we had the most steals that I can remember in a while. Something that we've paid attention to this week, and so we had 10 tonight, which is awesome. We had some girls come off the bench and had some really good minutes, and Hannah Duncan, Carly Gassaway. You just felt them out there a little bit, and it's not about the points on the board. It's being a basketball player, right? So there was a Giddy, there was a few rebounds tonight and an opportunity she just went and got. She was like, this is going to be mine. I'm going to go get it. 17 rebounds is huge. I love that. I mean, there were some moments, again, we shared the ball really well, and some moments that we just, that we didn't really know what to do with the ball. So those are come, but I like the fact that, again, that we gave ourselves an opportunity to win the game, and we did.
We talked a little bit about Carly on Saturday, but Hannah Duncan, another sophomore. How big is her development for your team going forward?
Development's key, and no matter your age, no matter your classification, no matter your experience. If you're not willing to develop and you don't want to put that time in, you're never going to excel as a player. I think that's why our grad students right now are so good, as they're putting time in their development, and they have along the way. So they're not just settling back and just going, I've done this before, I'm good enough. They're putting time in to make sure that their skills are difference makers.
When you have a game like this where maybe you feel the standards aren't being met, what do you want from your team on the quick turnaround for Saturday?
Oh, I think as a parent, I think as a coach, I think in life, sometimes you want it more. I think that desire to really want it, man. I mean, you're playing for the only undefeated team in the country. There's high expectations, man, but we have a great environment. We have a great locker room. We have great culture, right? So there's nothing to, every day should be excitement, and it shouldn't be just like going through the motions, man. You can create momentum, or you can just go through the motions, and I hopefully that we'll get back to want to create that momentum, and we should go out there and want to put an exclamation point on everything we do, or as the kids like to say, period. Whatever it is, man. It's like, but sometimes that's all talk. Need a lot more action with that.
Absolutely. Well, Trent, thanks for your time. Congrats on the win. We'll see you Saturday against Henderson.
It is. We should be congratulated, man. Winning's hard. Yeah, thanks, Luke.
Absolutely. We'll be back with the start of the guys' game here in a minute.